Tina is a chemist. She has to rearrange the chemicals on the shelves. Can you please help Tina to identify the salts from the rest of the chemicals? Click on the salt to place it on the rack. Click on the check button when you are done. These are salts. Are they the same as cooking salt? At the end of this lesson, students should be able to state examples of salts used in daily life, explain the meaning of salts, and identify soluble and insoluble salts.
Salt is commonly used as food flavoring and to enhance taste in food. The table salt that we often use in cooking is just one type of salt. There are many other types of salts that are used in different areas. Let's explore some of the fascinating applications of salt in our daily life. Your teacher will distribute a worksheet for you to fill in as you watch the video. Click on any of the 4 areas of uses of salts to watch the video. Click on the worksheet icon to check your answer. Uses of salt in food industry. Monosodium glutamate is used as food flavoring. Sodium bicarbonate is used to make cakes and bread. Sodium benzoate is used for food preservative. Uses of salt in agriculture industry. These are fertilizers. Ammonium sulfate is used to help plants grow and reduce the acidity of soil. Ammonium nitrate provides nitrogen, which is needed for healthy growth of stems and leaves. Ammonium phosphate is used to strengthen stem and root growth. Potassium chloride is important in the formation of flowers and fruits. These are pesticides. Copper 2 sulfate, mercury 1 chloride, and sodium arsenate are used to control pests in the plantations. Uses of salt in chemical industry. Sodium hydrochloride is used to bleach clothes during washing. Calcium carbonate is used in making cement. Tin 2 fluoride is added to toothpaste to prevent tooth decay. Silver bromide is used in photofilm processing in the dark room. Sodium carbonate decahydrate is used to produce soda lime glass for bottles, jars, drinking glasses, and window glass. Uses of salt in medical industry. Potassium chloride is a substitute for sodium salts for potassium-deficient patients. Calcium sulfate hemihydrate is used to mold the structure of the teeth. Barium sulfate is used as barium meal to detect stomach ulcers. This is salt that we normally use for cooking. These too are salts, but you cannot find them in the kitchen because they are not edible. If this and these are salts, then what is salt? Let's find out. These beakers contain acids. Salt can be produced when a substance like metal, metal oxide, metal carbonate, and alkali reacts with an acid. Click on the acid and observe carefully what happens to the hydrogen ion in the formation of salt. What are the ions present in hydrochloric acid? Key in your answer and click on the check button when you are done. Now, ammonium hydroxide is added to hydrochloric acid. What are the ions present in ammonium hydroxide? Key in your answer and click on the check button when you are done. Observe what happens to the hydrogen ion from the acid. Based on the animation, key in the ionic equation for the reaction between ammonium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. Key in your answer and click on the check button when you are done. Now, name the salt formed. Key in your answer and click the check button when you are done. Based on the animation of the formation of salt and the series of questions answered, can you define salt? To check your answer, define salt in the formation of salt. What are the ions present in sulfuric acid? Key in your answer and click on the check button when you are done. Now, copper 2 oxide is added to sulfuric acid. What are the ions present in copper 2 oxide? Key in your answer and click on the check button when you are done. Observe what happens to the hydrogen ion of the acid. Based on the animation, key in the ionic equation for the reaction between copper 2 oxide and sulfuric acid. Key in your answer and click on the check button when you're done. Now, name the salt formed. Key in your answer and click on the check button when you are done. Based on the animation of the formation of salt and the series of questions answered, can you define salt? To check your answer, click and drag to unscramble the word tiles. Click on the check button when you are done. Click on the button. Are all salts soluble in water? Click on the suitable words to make your own hypothesis. Then click on the Submit button. Click and drag the correct variables into the appropriate boxes. Then click on the Check button. Choose the materials and apparatus needed for your experiment. Click and drag them into the empty box provided. Click on the Check button when you have finished. Congratulations! Procedures. Rearrange the steps in the experiment. Click and drag the steps to arrange them in the correct sequence. Click the Check button when you have finished. Congratulations! Click on the first group of salts to begin the experiment. Record your observations by clicking on the appropriate colors: blue for soluble and orange for insoluble. Record your observations by clicking on the appropriate colors: blue for soluble and orange for insoluble. Click on the group of salts to continue. Record your observations by clicking on the appropriate colors: blue for soluble and orange for insoluble. Click on the group of salts to continue by clicking on the appropriate colors: blue for soluble and orange for insoluble. What can you infer from the recorded data? Complete the sentence to describe the result. Key in the appropriate words in the space provided. Click on the Submit button when you have finished. Sorry, try again. What can you conclude from the experiment? Complete the sentence to make a generalization on the solubility of salts. Key in the appropriate words in the space provided and click on the Submit button. Sorry, try again.
Two groups are needed to play. In this lesson, we have learned that there are many uses of salt in our daily life, and salts are used as a bleaching agent, fertilizer, food coloring, and disinfectant. Salt is a compound that is produced when the hydrogen ion from an acid is replaced by a metal or an ammonium ion. There are two types of salt: soluble and insoluble salts. All nitrate salts are soluble in water. Most sulfate salts are soluble, except barium sulfate, calcium sulfate, and lead-2 sulfate. Most carbonate salts are insoluble, except sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, and ammonium carbonate. Most chloride salts can dissolve in water except silver chloride and lead-2 chloride. Mummification is a process that is used to preserve dead bodies. The Egyptian mummies were preserved by eliminating moisture from the bodies. A salt mixture called natron, a natural substance that is found in abundance along the Nile River, is used to eliminate the moisture. Now let's do an activity. Let's divide the class into 5 groups. Find information on the following questions. List the salts found in natron. Describe the process of mummification and find out how these salts help in preserving the body.